The ABC's Leanne Suter is in Altadena, California.
This truly came up so.
And good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg, and it's Wednesday, January 8th, 2025, and my special guest in studio this morning is John Griffin. And you're a lot of things, but most recently you're a published author. Congratulations on that. Is this your first book?
Yes, this is my first book.
How long have you been thinking about a book?
I started it about 6 years ago.
Okay.
And I put it on the back burners.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm getting it out there. I'm getting it out there. I'm not going to prolong it anymore. I love that. I'm procrastinated. Maybe I was just afraid it was going to fail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's afraid of failure. And I said, I'm putting it out there. And when I got it to Newman Springs,
That's the publishing company.
Had the publishing company
Yep.
out in New Jersey, and immediately the guy said, "We love it." And
That's
I
awesome.
said, "Oh my gosh, really?" First time, and because there's a lot of people that write a lot of books.
Yeah.
And, they say, "No, hey, we're not taking that."
This is great.
I was very surprised, and happy.
I want to unpack that whole story. Want to talk about who you are, your background, where you're from, all the way up, where you were born, all the way up till now. We love storytelling here. So when I remembered we have an author coming in this week, I was like, yes, I love authors. I love storytelling. So be as verbose as you like.
Okay.
But wait till I ask the question.
Let's wait.
No, so we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. But did you see any snow out there? I've seen a couple of snowflakes on the cameras, but it doesn't look like there's anything really falling or accumulating. Anything out there?
I drove in from Coloma.
Okay.
And there's more snow in Coloma than there is here.
Oh, really?
So it's coming.
So is it snowing?
Yes.
Okay.
It is snowing.
Okay.
Yes,
so you got the lake effect started up in Coloma already.
We got probably a couple inches already.
No kidding.
Some of the roads are getting slick.
No kidding. Okay. That's a good update.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk about that in a moment right here on the WSJM Morning Show. Also, if you're watching on the video live stream, feel free to chime in and give us a question or comment as you wish. And anytime that you miss any part of the show, always feel free to go back to the video archive. We keep it on Facebook. We keep it on YouTube. And you can watch that at any point. You can give this video to your publishers if you want.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, well, for us, it'd be great. For them, they'd be like, oh, that's nice.
I believe that, I just got an email the other day, and they said, well, we got your website. I said, great. I said, now I'm on a website.
Yeah.
And everything's new.
Yeah.
I'm just happy.
That's great. I love it. And I love that you shared that you were potentially afraid of the risk of putting it out there, the risk of failure. And I can't remember the exact saying, but there's a quote in hockey: "The shot you miss is the shot. There's 100% chance you will miss the shot if you don't take it."
Yeah, there's, I can think of a lot of things that if you don't do it, you'll never do it.
Yeah.
And so you just got to get out there and trust your inner feelings.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to talk about that, explore that with John Griffin. He's an author here locally and came in from Coloma this morning. Says the roads might be a little bit slick out there, so do be careful with some of that lake effect snow coming in. It's 7:04. We've got news to cover in just a moment from the WSJM newsroom. Then we'll get into our interview right here on WSJM.
Struggling with back taxes or unfiled returns? Owe the IRS $10,000 or more? With the IRS ramping up enforcement, taxpayers across the country are turning to tax relief helpers. Call 800-885-0622 now. End IRS stress today. Stop collection efforts, wage garnishments, and sleepless nights. Tax relief helpers can help you or your business settle your tax debt quickly and affordably. Call the Tax Relief Helpers hotline at 800-885-0622. That's 800-885-0622. Start your relief today.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
It is the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. And what do we have here today? I'm just taking a look at Coloma. They have 23 degrees in Coloma right now. And we just got an eyewitness report that it's snowing up there. You got some lake effect snow, John?
Yes.
Okay. Lake effect snow happening in Coloma. They've got more snow up there than they do down here in Benton Harbor, St. Joseph area. So some of those bans are already in effect. So just watch that. And because of the cold conditions, the roadways already being cold, the snow is going to fall on it and it's going to make it a little bit slippery. So do be careful. Do be careful out there. For Benton Harbor, we have got 24 degrees, 25 in St. Joseph, 23 in South Haven right now. New Buffalo reports 26 degrees. With the cold temperatures, Michigan Gas Utilities wants to remind people of ways to keep their homes warm and energy efficient. Spokesman Matt Cullen says with the cold temperatures, there are some easy steps to ensure that your home stays comfortable.
When it's sunny outside, to open any curtains or blinds that are in their home to have that natural heat from the sun's rays come into their home. That helps warm up your home naturally so that you don't have to go to your thermostat and make an adjustment to keep your home warm. When it's at night, close those blinds and those curtains. That helps retain heat and cut down on any drafts that are in your home.
Michigan gas experts say there's also advice on what not to do to warm your home. You might imagine.
Never use a stove, never use an oven to heat your home. Not only is that an inefficient way to heat your home, it also could lead to carbon monoxide poisoning. Again, that very hazardous and even deadly gas that can build up indoors. It is a very dangerous and inefficient way to provide heat indoors.
Cullen says sealing gaps around windows and doors, adjusting the thermostat, and changing furnace filters are all good ways to keep your home cozy and warm during the wintertime and your energy bill down. Once you seal your home, however, from those drafts, it's also important to have working carbon monoxide detectors to make sure that the byproduct is making it through your home's exhaust system safely. South Haven city officials are taking another step toward lifeguard programs for the city. During Monday's city council meeting, the council voted to approve an agreement with the United States Lifeguard Association to provide consulting to develop a lifeguard plan. City manager Kate Hosier talked with the association about what a plan might look like.
Mr. Brewster kind of explained that he would have a small group of about 4 people that would help him draft the plan. Their plan is to talk to many stakeholders, including the city council, many people from the community, as well as many people who are, pro-lifeguard, and many people who are interested in this topic.
The consultant group will develop 2 plans, giving the city options to consider. One plan for lifeguards at all beaches, the other proposal where guards are stationed at North and South beaches.
They're trying to set up what the best program would be to meet our needs, to meet the safety standards, and also meet for the national certification. So they're trying to kind of help us develop a plan, and we've asked them to look at the maximum number of beaches we have, as well as at least the 2 minimums.
The city expects to review those plans in March. The baseball facility at Eaton Park in St. Joseph Township is set to receive some enhancements this spring. During a recent meeting, the St. Joseph Township Board approved a contract for $79,000 with McGuire Construction to upgrade the press box towers in preparation for the upcoming spring sports season. Public Works Supervisor Dave Rinfield tells us the project marks the second and final phase of the upgrade to the project.
We wanted to make the park look a little nicer, and rather than just having a block building, we worked with McGuire's here a year ago, and we really liked how they looked, so we decided to finish it off this year and get the remaining 3 done.
Renfield explains that the improvements will help extend the longevity of the facility, which had not been updated since their original construction.
They put furring strips on there, and then we sided them all and then wrapped the windows that are upstairs where they open them up for announcing, and then we put roll-up doors there instead of having the old wooden hinge doors up there on the tops.
Weather permitting, the work could begin sometime this winter, with the anticipated completion expected before the start of the softball and baseball seasons. And one more story. You like crime stories, John?
Yeah, I think
they're very popular. I mean, they're like number 1 or number 2 on podcasts. True crime.
I loved reading Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, me too. Hardy Boys,
Oh,
Encyclopedia Brown. That was my favorite.
Encyclopedia Brown.
Wasn't that good stuff?
Yeah.
Well, here's one that Encyclopedia Brown probably could have solved, but 2 alleged tree thieves are in custody after reportedly making off with a recently harvested hardwood. Cass County Sheriff Clint Roach tells us that on January 4th of this year, his office was called regarding a larceny complaint. A large walnut tree valued at approximately $2,000 had recently been cut down. It was, what's that?
I know about that story.
You know about this story?
The same people.
Oh, no.
They had broken into my friend's garage out there on the lake, and they stole his Kawasaki mule.
Oh, man.
And that's how they caught him.
Really?
They caught him driving around in that mule, and that was the guy who was stealing these, who was cutting down these trees.
Oh, man. Well, this one had already been cut down.
Yes.
Okay, so here, hang on one second. So the tree apparently had recently been cut down, and then it was reported missing and presumed stolen. And this was in the 61,000 block of Old Mill Road in Pokagon Township. Same area?
This is more like an covert.
Okay. Investigating detectives followed up on tips leading them yesterday to a location in Colon on information of suspects attempting to sell the tree. The stolen tree was recovered and returned to the owner, which is great news. The 35-year-old male was arrested on a probation violation warrant. A 51-year-old male who was also involved in this was arrested on a parole absconder warrant, which I just love the name of that, parole absconder, right? Detectives are requesting charges on all suspects involved in the larceny and the sale of the tree. The investigation's ongoing. So, I mean, tree theft, who'd have thunk?
It's a racket. It's a business.
Jeez. I mean, are they selling it for projects or something, or for firewood? I mean, it's a walnut tree. That's beautiful wood.
It's got to be furniture,
right?
Furniture, specialty furniture.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think about it.
That's not an easy wood to work with, by the way. If you're
definitely a hardwood.
Yeah.
It's a hardwood. Yeah.
So, and if this one had been cut down and cured at all, I mean, the value just keeps going up and up and up.
Yeah. You think about some of the trees that they get out of Lake Superior and stuff that have been down there, and
prehistoric stuff.
Yeah. They bring those up and they get, thousands of dollars for those.
Yeah. As a woodworker, I talk about trees all day long. So, all right. Well, that's some of the news that we're covering in the WSJM newsroom today. We are covering more, and we'll tell you about it coming up at 7:30. We do have a guest in studio, and his name is John Griffin. We'll start that interview right now on the WSJM video live stream on YouTube and on Facebook, and then we'll come right back here in just a couple of minutes on the radio and have that interview as well. So enjoy it. Sit back, relax, and have a cup of coffee. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
The first team to 4 wins in the Big Ten this season is the Michigan Wolverines. In a game you heard on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Sometimes I forget which buttons to push. Good morning and welcome again to the video live stream on the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Yeah, tree thieves. Who'd have thunk? I don't know. Anyway, John Griffin is here. He's an author, and he's going to tell us a bit about himself. Why don't you? We've got about 30 seconds before I'm done with sports. We'll have the weather forecast, and then we'll come back in. What do you do in your spare time?
I'm an avid golfer.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, do you carry a handicap?
Yeah, I'm about a 12, 13 handicap.
Wow, you are a good golfer.
Yes.
Look at that.
I've been in the league at Lake Michigan Hills for about 35 years.
Nice.
And I just enjoy it. I enjoy the competition. I enjoy the camaraderie with all my golfers, my golfing buddies.
That's awesome. Well, good. Where do you golf?
Hang on,
hold on one second. I mistimed here. We'll get the weather forecast. We'll come back in just a minute.
Temperatures today at 25. Lake effect snow continues in the evening hours. Then we'll clear out overnight. We'll drop down to 13. And we're expecting some sunshine tomorrow, but high temperatures still only in the mid-20s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
It's the WSJM Morning Show. It's kind of funny. I asked my guest this morning, "Are you ready?" And he's like, "Yes." And it's like, regardless whether you're ready or not, John, we're gonna go. No, you're doing great. John Griffin is in the studio this morning. He's our special guest, and you were in for a commercial testimonial some months ago, and you and I started talking, and
We did.
and I don't know how we got on the topic, but I found out that you were writing a book, and you were hoping to get it published soon, and lo and behold, now you have your book published. It's called Woody the Wood Duck, Not Your Ordinary Ducktail, and there it is right there. Yeah, you put it up on the video line here. Hand it over here, and I'll put it up on my camera because I can get up close and personal with that one. There we go. Woody the Wood Duck. And we'll talk about this book and the story and your inspiration for that in just a moment. Can I hang on to this
Yes.
for? Okay. And so, but first, John, let's learn about you. As I ask my guests here on the WSJM Morning Show, start at the beginning. I mean, be as verbose as you wish. What, where you from and where you been?
I was born and raised in Michigan,
Okay.
so I am a
Whereabouts?
big man. Now, Southwest Michigan. I
Okay.
grew up in Stevensville, Michigan.
Nice.
And there's a lot of wetlands around there.
Yeah.
Went to Lakeshore, started out at Lakeshore Elementary, and then I went to Lake Michigan Catholic,
Okay.
which is a different school now.
Yeah. Our Lady of the Lake.
Our Lady of the Lake.
Yeah.
And then I went to Lake Michigan College and
Okay.
got my 2-year degree. And then I said, okay, I'm going to go into teaching. I go, get my summers off, and because I got to, get my golf game in.
So you were golfing back then?
I was golfing back then.
Yeah.
And so I went to Western Michigan University.
Okay.
Got my elementary degree.
Yeah.
And after that, I got a job at Benton Harbor Area Schools.
Nice.
And I've been an elementary school teacher there, and I did 27 years, and it was a great school, great kids.
Yeah. I
did a lot of reading, and I enjoyed reading. Literacy and reading was one of my top things that I enjoyed, and having the knowledge of reading all these books and reading them out loud to children.
Yeah.
I think it came upon me to, when I was writing the book, to get my inner feelings of how would you want to read a book. And it started out like that.
Yeah.
And I just right from that point, I retired, and I did still do a little bit of teaching. I did some teaching at Waterville East, and a little bit at St. Joe's Public Schools and stuff, and I did some substitute teaching.
You were teaching. It strikes me that you were teaching at a time when the students, if you were teaching for 27 years, it was a time when students were going from everything was in a book, they had to write everything down, to a time. What year did you retire, would you say?
It was in
2000 something,
2017.
Okay, so you were of the era where that transition to the computers, where everybody had some sort of electronic device. What was that like when you were seeing the books slowly fade away and the libraries maybe getting smaller?
It was a strange time. I can really, we went from answering the telephone and always having a phone in the classroom to everybody has a phone.
Not good.
And it really is to right now. They're trying to get a handle on. I think too many kids are they're on their phones way too much.
Yeah.
You could if you want to learn something in the classroom, hey, can you put your phone down there? We're teaching up here.
Yeah.
And now my hat's off to some of the teachers right now, because they have a lot on their table that they have to do. They have to deal with all this social media stuff with the phones and things.
Yeah, I personally don't know how you handle it if you're a teacher. My request would be, okay, here's a box. Everyone put your phone in the box. But you can't do that.
I think they should.
They should do that. Put your phone in a box and you can have it on your way out.
Yeah, have a special kind of container.
Yeah.
Because you don't want anybody to steal it.
No.
And everybody's got to have their, this is your name at your slot.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Have it where, okay, for 1 hour.
Yeah.
you know, I want you to do some learning.
Yeah, because these are the fundamentals: reading, writing,
Yeah,
arithmetic. You
and
got to know it.
yeah, and especially, you know, I have a master's degree in reading, and that, you know, that was one of my, I really enjoyed reading.
Yeah. Do you think reading is changing, or reading habits changing based on the TLDR society? Too long, didn't read, the smartphones, the quick, I need satisfaction right now.
I think that it has to come back. I believe if we go right back to the roots of, here's a book, let's break down the books and let's read it out. And I mean, if we don't get back to the reading, it's going to be lost. And is right now students just, you know, they just want the quick, short information that they can get on their phone. Oh, that's it. It's got to be, you know, this is it.
That's a cool dance move.
Yes.
But all right. Well, we digress a little bit. You did the teaching. You retired, semi-retired. You kept teaching.
Yes.
Benton Harbor, Waterville. And in your spare time, we learned on the video live stream already that you're an avid golfer. You love playing golf. Is it you, or I'm sorry, is it me, or is it the case that we're losing our driving ranges around here? Why not more driving ranges?
You know, there are some driving ranges. I think I think it's going to simulators too.
Yeah.
You know,
which is okay.
Which is, you know,
but I got to tell you, when I lived out in Buchanan, I loved going to the driving range. Just sit there, and I hit that driving range more than I hit the golf course.
Yeah, you got to practice all the time. Golf is a repetitive thing. If you know, once you get your swing, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're in Michigan. Here we are. We got, you know, 6 months, 5 months of not being able to swing the club. You know, you got to have some kind of a simulator, or a lot of people are, you know, buying these simulators and having them in their garages and basements. And they're really high tech.
Yeah. I wonder if they help. You think they help?
I think they help.
Okay.
I mean, at least it keeps your swing, your tempo.
Okay.
Keeps your tempo, because if you know, it from from winter to spring, you are you lose a lot. And then, you know, if you're getting your tempo and going to the simulators and stuff, you know, plus they're fun. I mean, you can go to some of these simulators and sit down and have you know, a hot dog and a hamburger and, you know, a beverage.
It's pretty cool.
And then you're playing. And
Pipestone's got one of those. They're an advertiser on our station, so I can say that. But no, it's cool. We are talking with John Griffin. He is a recently published author of a children's book, and we should probably talk about that. So why don't we shift gears and talk a little bit about that? So at what point, you said you've been working on this project for about 6 years. You first thought, I'm going to write a book. When did that thought occur to you?
Well, it all started, my wife told me a story when she was a child of a duck that they had rescued. And it was a really cute story that she had told me. And I said to myself, okay, I like that story. And then one day I just started writing. Things started flowing. And as you know, I don't know how writers do it, but it just came to me, and I said, okay. And then I just started writing. I put my mind into the different characters, and tried to put it into, and it says, okay, this is all right. And then I put it on the shelf.
Were you writing longhand?
Yes.
Okay. So you're not even using a computer. You're just writing this out.
I'm writing it out. I mean, I didn't even have lined paper. I wrote it out on typing paper.
Wow.
I was actually substituting in a advanced literacy class.
Okay.
And the kids were just great. They're just doing their work. They're doing doing a great job. I go,
Yeah.
man, I'm bored up here. I gotta do something. You know, I saw some typing paper and I just grabbed the pen.
Wow.
I just started writing it, and it started flowing. And I was in that I was in the literacy class there for like 3 days. And so for 3 days, I wrote it all up, and then I put it on, I put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
And then I saw this thing on TV. Oh, you can author this book, your book.
Had you shown it to anybody before you did that? Before you put it on the shelf?
No.
Not even your wife?
No.
Okay.
I didn't even show anybody. She knew I had it.
Okay.
But I didn't show anybody. And then so this thing for Newman Springs came out.
Yeah.
And I told them, and I sent it to them.
Yeah.
And they say, we love it.
That's awesome.
I know. I was just like, I go, wow. And then I told the wife, she said, no way. And she's like, he said, okay.
So so what's the process? So they love the story. What do they tell you then is the next step?
Oh, okay. The next step. So they sent me to another person that is the person that puts the book together.
Okay.
And so I didn't really have it broken down in chapters and stuff, but as I had to rewrite it to put in the book form, I had to figure out different chapters, and it was a real long process in a way, because not only did you have to do the chapters and you had to I wanted to, you really have to have the words sound right, and make it enjoyable for people to read it. But the illustrations, I had to that took about 6 pages of writing to think about each of the illustrations of what I wanted it to have to be. And sometimes we say, okay, this is what we have. I said, oh, no, that's not what
That's not it.
That's not what I was thinking.
So you're working with an illustrator that you haven't met.
Oh, never. I never really personally met anybody. It was all through email.
That's amazing. That's really cool. All right. So let's put a pause in that for just a moment. We're talking with John Griffin. He's the author of Woody the Wood Duck. He's from Coloma. Well, you're from Stevensville, I would say.
Actually,
and you currently live in Coloma.
Yes, I live, Little Pawpaw Lake.
Okay. And the book is called Woody the Wood Duck, Not Your Ordinary Ducktail. I just love this.
Yeah, TALE. Not, because it's a tale.
I like the tail, the play on words there. That's good.
It's nonfiction and fiction.
And can I read part of the blurb here? All right.
Please.
So this is the story of a rescue duck from the day it hatches to when it reaches full maturity as a male wood duck. The story takes place in a small town in southwest Michigan where there are plenty of woods, fields, and wetlands. And so maybe we'll ask John to read a passage from that here in just a few minutes. But we'll continue this on the WSJM Morning Show. We've got the Bloomberg Market Minute coming up in just a moment. We'll continue the interview on the video live stream as well. We also have ABC News, and we'll check in on our local and state news as well on the WSJM Morning Show.
Would you call free checking that?
I love that you were in a literacy class. Literacy or literature?
Yeah, it was a literacy advanced,
and they were so advanced that they gave you nothing to do. That you got to start writing your book.
It was a great bunch of kids.
That's awesome.
At high school, and this is at St. Joe High School.
Okay,
good kids. The teacher gave me some great lesson plans, and once the kids got the lesson plans, they just worked.
I love the inscription, the dedication. Would you read that, please?
Okay.
Because this book is dedicated
to my wife, Brooke, for sharing her Woody story and giving me the inspiration to write this book.
Did she like it after you?
She loved it. She says, I couldn't have written it better myself. She was kind of jealous in a way. I wanted to write this. I go, I know, but
you probably said you snooze, you lose.
kind of like that. I should have told her that.
Probably
But
not. No,
I don't want to get in trouble.
No, we won't say that.
No, but she said she loved it. She just she couldn't wait I'd love to have her do the audible.
Oh, the audio book.
The
Yes.
audio book
Okay.
of it. It is on Kindle.
Okay.
But you have to read it yourself there.
Okay.
But that's $9.99 on Kindle.
So it's available in bookstores. That's a really cool thing. It's on Amazon.com, Barnes and Noble's booksellers. You can what's the iTunes thing here?
I'm not real sure on what they did that, but it's also available at Walmart too.
Let's see. I'm gonna go on iTunes and see if they. Oh, maybe it's the Apple book.
Yeah,
it
I'm
is.
pretty sure. I
it's
think
the
it
Apple
is.
book. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can get it on Kindle and on Apple Book, Apple iTunes or whatever. Anyway, but it's available widely, and I love the hardcover version of this. That is really cool.
Yeah, I just they asked me, would you want it on hardcover also? I go, let me see. I go, what would Dr. Seuss do? He would want it on hardcover.
Yeah.
And then you think about it, it's a children's book.
Yeah.
And children are going to have this book, and children are going to be rough with this book. They're going to take this book, they're going to carry it everywhere, and it's going to get some use.
You thought through this. I
did think through that. I said, yeah, of course I want hardcover, and I do have hardcover and soft covers.
Nice. What will you go on a book tour?
I don't know about that, but I
mean, what has to happen? The question I would have is, do you have to invest of your own money into this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, at the beginning you have to invest.
Okay.
You have to invest
because they want to know, are you committed?
In order to, we love your book.
Yeah.
We love this. Okay, now you have to pay us.
Yeah.
And then we'll get it. Then we'll get it rocking and rolling.
Yeah. Because the book industry, if you've never been part of the writing of a book, it can be it's pretty brutal, because if a book gets out there and it doesn't sell, the promotion from the publisher goes away immediately, because they go on to the next thing, because they're going to try to make as much as they want. And so a lot of times that's why you see authors out there like yourself helping to promote it, because that's one of the best ways to get it going, to light the fire.
Exactly. And then I believe that there's some bookstores in St. Joe that I still have not hit yet. I think it's, what is it? Forever
Books.
Book.
Yeah. It's one
I
downtown.
need to go down there and talk to.
You should.
I'm not.
They've got a great reading area.
Yes.
Great reading area, and they invite authors in. The last one I was at was an author who had a book about shipwrecks. Hang on one second, and we've got to come back and talk a little bit more on the radio here, and then we'll continue our interview right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
And good morning, and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
Yep, that's what I said. It's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. It's 7:33, and we're talking with John Griffin. He is the author of a children's book. It's called Woody the Wood Duck, Not Your Ordinary Ducktail. He lives in Coloma now, but he was born in the Stevensville area and went to school locally here, and he taught locally here after getting his teaching degree. And we were talking on the video live stream just a second ago. I was asking about the process of getting your book published, and if you're thinking about any kind of book tours, would you just before we get to the rest of our news here, do you have a favorite passage in here that you would want to?
Yeah,
you'd want to read?
Thanks, Ken.
Yeah.
It was a stormy and rainy early spring afternoon. We had just gotten home from eating at Pizza Hut. Just when we got out of the car, Mom said, "Quiet, quiet. I hear something squeaking by our road." There was a large drainage ditch near our house, and it fills up fast when we have large rainstorms. I said, "Yes, I hear it too." Mom and I went out near the road, and there we saw a tiny, tiny bird squeaking by the road, floating towards the drainage ditch. Mom and I acted fast. We waded through the stream of the storm water, and with care and grace, she grabbed the little squeaker. We brought the tiny bird into the house to take a closer look at it. My brother got a shoebox, and we grabbed a towel from the closet. Mom put the tiny bird into a shoebox, and we all sat around the kitchen table looking at the little squeaking little bird. Dad said, "This is not just a bird, it's a duck."
I love that. The book is called Woody the Wood Duck, Not Your Ordinary Duck Tale by John Griffin here. And as we continue to talk about it, I think one of the things that a lot of people would ask you is the inspiration for this. And you dedicated the book to your wife, who told you the original story about Woody the Wood Duck. But how much of this, because it's pretty substantial, the chapters that you go through and the words that are in there, is all of this from her, or how did you fill in the gaps?
That's really interesting because she gave me the background story, and I just through reading a lot of children's books and stuff, it just took off. I just started writing.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a book that people would want to read.
Yeah.
And make it interesting, because if it's not interesting, it's a book that people are gonna, it's gonna collect dust on a shelf.
Yeah, no, that's really good. That's really good. All right, it's the WSJM Morning Show. We've got a lot to get to here, and as I'm messing with my computer, my apologies here. We'll have that right here, and we'll be right back in just a couple of moments right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Hurricane force winds across Southern California are fueling at least 3 destructive wildfires. ABC's Kana Whitworth in a mask with more from Altadena, north of Pasadena.
What authorities are saying is that this fire behavior is incredibly erratic, and so it's shooting the fire back and forth from side to side of the road. And so they're actually putting out a fire in one spot and have to go revisit it and put it out again. And this is the result of not being able to get air attack on this fire because the winds are so high.
Donald Trump Jr. visited Greenland on Tuesday as his father, President-elect Donald Trump, said he wouldn't rule out using the U.S. military to take over the territory as well as the Panama Canal for national security purposes, he says. Rescuers in the freezing high-altitude Tibet region where a strong earthquake hit this week have been searching again for any survivors. Tents, quilts, and other relief items have arrived in the area where 126 people lost their lives. This is ABC News.
Stunning sights, more clicks, web design from Websticks.
If you're running a business or maybe a nonprofit, you probably have a website, and it probably has issues, small ones, or maybe some moderately big ones, either of which you don't have time or cash in the budget for. That's why Websticks offers the opportunity for someone like you to buy blocks of time that never expire. They'll evaluate the issue and give you an estimate of time. Then you just buy blocks of time for that project. Websticks has over 20 years creating, and better yet, fixing thousands of websites. They're excited to be serving.
All right, it's the WSJM Morning Show, and let me make sure I did that right. Okay. For some reason, I think I took... Okay, now we're good. Sorry. More behind-the-scenes stuff here, and we're talking about our news, and that's coming up in just a moment. Okay, there we go. Sorry, what's going on behind the scenes right now is I accidentally closed the master playlist on the computer that programs everything that's supposed to be happening on the air. And I couldn't remember how to get it back up. And so, I lost the control to put it back up. Now I have it back thanks to Dave Wolf. He helped me out again. So we'll be back with more news in just a moment right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
And make protecting your data a priority today and every year to come.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
And it's 25 degrees in Benton Harbor, 26 in St. Joseph, 23 in South Haven. It's 7:39 on Wednesday, January 8th. I'm Ken Lundberg. This is the WSJM Morning Show. We'll continue our interview with author John Griffin in just a moment. He authored a children's book. After spending nearly 3 decades as a teacher, he decided to get into the publishing business. So we'll talk about that. We'll continue that interview in just a moment. First, taking a look at some of the news that we are following in the WSJM newsroom today. The 2 Lincoln Township residents have been arrested for an armed robbery that happened last month in Buchanan Township. The Berrien County Sheriff's Office reports back on December 21st around 4 a.m., officers responded to JD's truck stop just off the interchange of Highways 31 and 12 after a masked man reportedly with a firearm entered the business and demanded money. The suspect fled. Following an investigation, it was determined there were actually 2 suspects involved in the robbery. Detectives from both Berrien County Sheriff's Office and Lincoln Township Police served a search warrant yesterday at a residence in Lincoln Township. As a result, 2 people were arrested. They're now in custody, a 31-year-old male and a 50-year-old female. They're at the Berrien County Jail. The names are being held until arraignment. Another story that we'll be talking about at 8 o'clock, the annual St. Joseph Club basketball tournament is set to return for its 18th year. Happens later this month on January 19th. We'll tell you more about the tournament and how to get tickets. And Lake Michigan College's Child Care Center will soon be back in operation with a new vendor. We'll tell you more about that coming up at 8 o'clock. All right, it's 7:41. We're going to continue our interview with John Griffin in just a moment. We've got sports coming up after a look at state news.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth Fisher.
You hear that dog? You hear the dog? You don't hear the dog?
No.
Yeah, it stopped barking now. There's a neighbor who has a dog that just goes nuts every now and again.
No, I didn't know.
Sometimes I get here like at 4 a.m. and the thing's already going wild. It's crazy. Anyway.
Yeah. What's a dog doing outside in this
At 4 a.m. Yeah, for any length of time.
Oh,
See, you can hear it. No.
I have a sister that lives down in Florida, and she has a dog rescue thing. It's called Snip, and
Snip.
it's
Let me guess. Do they promote spay and neutering?
Yes.
Okay.
They absolutely do. And her husband, he's out rescuing dogs all the time. I think she has 4 or 5 dogs right now.
Wow.
3 of them only have 3 legs.
Oh, poor little guys.
Yes. And so they're rescuing dogs constantly. And right now they had just got some grants to build a facility so they can do their spay and neutering.
Yeah.
And it's a really good thing. And I didn't even tell you guys, I got 7 brothers and sisters.
You do?
I am from a big family.
That is a big family. 7 brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Where do you stack up in the order?
I'm the middle guy.
Okay.
Yeah, when your mom says, she'll tell all, goes to the whole family, Tim, Charlie, Benji, I go, so I've been called the dog many a time. So, and it's funny because, it's the middle guy, he's kind of, you kind of get lost in the family, but it was a great upbringing in Stevensville.
Yeah.
Great wetlands. I mean, I did a lot of walking around and, Hickory Creek and it's just beautiful wetlands over there. And I just enjoyed Southwest Michigan. I've never moved.
Yeah.
I just enjoy this area. It's fantastic. I love Lake Michigan. I love this. I love the whole area.
Yeah. So what has it been like? How long has the book been out?
Book has been out for about a month and a half, about a month.
Okay.
Right before it came out, right before Christmas.
Okay.
And what's neat about it is that I've got a lot of my golf buddies. They all got grandchildren. They want to get the book.
Yeah.
And of course I have to sign them.
Excellent.
And my brothers and sisters, I have to sign their books and stuff. What was really neat is that some of the brothers and sisters, they showed their grandchildren on the lap, and they're reading my book.
Really?
And it's just like, wow. It's just this is what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about sharing this book with people, and it almost brought tears to my eyes.
I haven't read the book yet. Is there an underlying message to it? Is there a moral to the story?
It's got 14 chapters. So I'm thinking after I wrote it, I was like, what is the grade level? It may be 3rd through 5th grade.
Okay.
With the chapters and things like that. But it also, you could take each chapter in a literacy form and break them down to read each thing with smaller children.
Yeah.
And it also has a science background to it, talked about migration of the birds.
Sure, the ecosystems,
what's their habitat.
Okay.
And what do ducks eat? And what are some of the things that they do? And it's just it's a big I'm trying to think of the word for it. There's a lot of things that you can do in teaching with this book.
Yeah. So moral of the story, ducks are our friends too.
Yeah. And Woody has a personality. Is, some of the things, swimming in the pool where the wife Brooke would be swimming, and the duck would when she went under the water, the duck would follow her under the water and swim with her. It was just there's just a lot of interesting things.
What was the biggest challenge in putting this together, other than making the decision to finally do it?
The biggest challenge was rewriting to make it fit in chapters.
Okay.
And to think about,
because it started out, you just had one long big piece.
Story. Yeah, it's just one long story, and to figure out, okay, what's this about? Oh, I'm gonna this chapter, I'm gonna call it Woody needs to be with other ducks. Because at one point, the duck was brought to Surrett Nature Center.
Oh,
and
Surrett Nature Center makes an appearance in here?
Yes.
Okay.
In a way.
Okay.
In a way. And
there it is
also
right
we
there.
have a little slight appearance with
right there, Surrett Nature Center.
Yeah, there's Chuck Nelson.
Oh, is that Chuck Nelson?
There's Chuck.
Okay.
I just remember I put him there because I took some classes, and I also brought classes to the Surrett Nature Center. And so I remembered him, and he was good. And so they tried to acclimate the duck with other ducks. And I'm trying to get it to, but the family, they're saying goodbye to the duck, and they're leaving. Yeah, they're leaving.
Hang on one second. Got to get back on the air here.
And we're expecting some sunshine tomorrow, but high temperatures still only in the mid-20s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
It's the WSJM Morning Show, 12 minutes before 8 o'clock, and we're continuing our interview with John Griffin. How does it feel when I say John Griffin, the author?
Is
that cool?
It's not. I can't even say it's great. I'm an author.
What? So we've got Woody the Wood Duck, not your ordinary ducktail. It's available by Amazon, Barnes and Noble. You can download electronic versions on Kindle and iTunes. And I know you're talking about potentially visiting some of the local bookstores. So
correct.
We wish you the best on that. What's next?
What's next?
What do you have up your sleeve for after this?
All right, I left the book.
Oh, you didn't?
To make a sequel.
Oh, smart marketing move there.
So if you get to the final chapter, Farewell to Woody, it shows Dad and the.
Well, don't give away the ending, though.
No, I'm not giving away.
Okay, all right.
But I left it open to a sequel, and I'm already on chapter 2.
Oh, no kidding. You already started it.
Yeah.
Good.
So I'm going to have I got some winter days where I'm just going to get my typing paper out and my pen and just write.
That's awesome. That's
because
great.
when we're in Southwest Michigan, we're going to have some snowy cold days.
In fact, I was looking at some of the weather chatter yesterday, and somebody said, "Hey, if you're hoping for our abnormally warm January this year, you're probably not going to get it. It's probably going to be cold. So we've already got that, and then we're probably also going to get the snow down. We don't know when that's coming, but I guess we're due for that. We're due for a good snowstorm.
Lake effect.
Yeah, it can happen anytime.
Just keeps happening, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah.
I have some family down in Florida, and they're 75, 80 degrees, and
nice.
And somebody had told me, while I'm shoveling the snow, I'm saying no alligators, no hurricanes, no alligators, no hurricanes. And it was just like, okay, I'm going to have to use that. No backaches. No.
Yeah.
Because when we're up here, we're shoveling stuff.
Oh yeah. No, I've got the snow shovel. I don't think it's snowed a lot so far because I've got 2 snow shovels out in the back porch ready to go and a broom for the car. And that has kept the snow at bay.
Yes.
The moment I put those things away, I know the snow will come.
And you got to have your ice melt because you
don't want
to slip on the stuff.
Yep. Got to have the pet friendly ice melt.
Yes. Exactly. And I love pets too. Yeah.
It's the double.
And I also have a rescue cat.
So how many animals do you have in your home?
I had this one dog.
Aww.
It was a Llewellyn English setter, Sophie.
Oh.
She lived for 15 years, and she just had her legs gave out, and I did the most humane thing that you have to do, and it was the saddest.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
And I had a cat for 17 years, and I said, okay, so I was that day. It was like 2 years ago, and during Thanksgiving, it was a cold, chilly day. And she passed, and all of a sudden I'm hearing this meow, meow. And there's a cat in my yard in the snow.
You're kidding.
A kitten.
Wow.
A little kitten.
That's something.
I don't know. I don't know what. I go, why? I just got.
And that new cat's still with you.
Another cat. So I took it to the vet, and they said, so now I have. Now I have a little kitten that's 2 years old now. Her name's Mitzi, but it's a rescue.
Yeah.
I'm that. Am I going to get another dog? Probably. We're thinking about in the summertime because wintertime it's tough. Especially if you got a puppy.
The training and everything else.
Yeah.
All right. We have to do the Moody on the Market update, so we'll come back and do that in just a moment right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Rich Brand and Tarek Halsey of IMS Insurance Management Service, your local auto owners agency in St. Joseph and Niles, know it means something to have honest.
What's your cat's name? Your new cat?
Mitzi.
Where does Mitzi come from?
Mitzi, she, like I said, she was, I don't know if somebody passing by in a car just threw it out my yard or something.
Oh,
it was so sad.
The name Mitzi. Where does the name Mitzi come from? Just came to you?
It just came to me.
Okay.
It did. Yeah. MITZI.
Oh, okay. With a ZI. All right.
Yeah.
I like
and
that.
So Mitzi. And the last cat I had was Trixie. It's like, and
I had a Daisy at one point.
A Daisy.
Yeah, she was cute. Now our current dog, Stephanie and I, we have Russell. My parents had the dog.
Is it a Jack Russell?
No, it's actually a Portuguese water dog.
Oh, those are nice dogs.
Yeah, they're great dogs. They're incredibly smart.
Yeah.
Incredibly stubborn.
Oh yeah, they're hyper too.
They're a little hyper. This one, he's very needy. He's very needy. He follows us around everywhere, and now he's got arthritis, and so he, even though he wants to be around us at all times, he's a little slow. All right, let's come back and do the Moody on the Market update. and then we'll conclude our interview. Hey, thanks for joining us. It's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me this morning is John Griffin. And in fact, he's the target of our Moody on the Market update today, because during the Moody on the Market update, we talk about business happenings, business updates. We talk about life in Southwest Michigan and why we love it here. And we also talk about interesting people you should know. And I think John qualifies on at least a couple of categories there. John Griffin, he's the author of a children's book, Woody the Wood Duck, Not Your Ordinary Ducktail. And he's from Stevensville originally, and then he currently lives in Coloma, and he's a golf fanatic. Handicap of 12 or 13, you said?
Yes.
That means you don't lose many golf balls, do you?
No. Some days you never know. It's golf.
Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And since we're talking about your book, and you just alluded that you're on chapter 2 already of your sequel to this, we can assume it's a sequel.
Yes, it is the sequel.
How is the process differing from your first go around?
I have to, on the sequel, I have to put more into it, because there's some parts of it that I didn't get a background to, so I have to put my my book senses on, and just start thinking about different things. It's a wood duck, and wood ducks are different from other ducks.
Yeah.
And they have to they nest higher up in a tree.
Okay.
And it's not like some of the other ducks, and it's a very interesting. So I'll give you a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good book. I have a good feeling about that.
This one is set in Southwest Michigan.
Yes.
Okay. And will the next one be set there as well?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. And and anything else that you want people to know about it? I guess the biggest thing is, for what ages do you recommend for this, and where can people get it?
I believe that if for a regular reader, it's like from third grade to fifth grade, possibly there, because it's a chapter book.
Yeah.
14 chapters. But as an adult towards children, if you read it to somebody who's a non-reader, this is how you become a reader.
Yeah.
Is by having books read to you as an adult, and I believe reading the books aloud creates good readers when it promotes their learning.
Yeah, love that. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. Anything else where can people get it once more?
They can get it on Amazon. You can get it at Barnes Noble. You can get it at Walmart, and it's also a Kindle
ebook or whatever.
Kindle ebook.
Yeah. Okay.
And I want to get the Audible book in the future, but that does take money to be able to do that. So
all right,
I'm in the process there. I heard that there's might be a possibility of having WSJM do it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and I was talking to who was Lorraine?
Oh yeah, Lorraine, one of our business development folks.
And she said we can do that.
We do have a podcast studio. So we can probably repurpose that. All right. Well, we'll keep talking. John Griffin. It's the book Woody the Wood Duck, Not Your Ordinary Ducktail. That's part of our Moody on the Market update today, and the interview overall. Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. Thank you for coming by. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, you bet.
And as now I'm an author.
Yes, you are, sir.
And I appreciate it, and it's a good children's book.
All right. Look for it in bookstores or on Amazon soon. It's 7:59. I've got to do a quick weather check. The forecast for today: cloudy skies, a 50% chance of lake effect snow showers, and word has it it's already snowing in some areas. So north of here, you can expect some bands of snowfall and some slick roadways. So do be careful out there. Light accumulation is expected today. A high around 25 and northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast: cloudy skies, a 30% chance of lake effect snow showers continuing, low around 13.
From the Pat Moody Studios, this is News Talk Sports 94.9. WSJM FM Benton Harbor, St. Joseph. Depend on us.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Fire engulfing.
Okay. And John, thank you so much for joining us today and bringing the books in and talking about it. We appreciate hearing your story.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate you having me here, and the book it's a wonderful book.
Yeah.
Not that just because I'm just trying to say, oh, you got to buy this book. No, it's a good book. It is. After writing it and everything, it's just like, wait, this is a good book.
Available in paperback, hardcover, and digital. And it's got illustrations and everything else.
Yeah,
so,
the illustrations were, it was one of the hardest things to do because I had to write 6 to 8 pages to get one thing about what I want the page to look like.
That's amazing.
With
AI, you can just start putting prompts in now. You don't even need people.
I wondered if they didn't use AI.
They might have.
They might have.
Well, I bet there's some local, now that you've got the first one out and under your belt, I bet there's some local illustrators who might want to show their wares as well. We'll see.
Yeah,
all right.
Give me a call and I'll help you out.
All right, well, do well, and thanks again for the time this morning. We appreciate you
very much.
And we'll talk to you soon. We'll do that. All right.